Ahem. Welcome back, everyone, to Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Let's pick it up.
I'll report you to Captain. You are in much trouble now.
For what? I forget, it's been a day. Because I record like one episode a day, almost. Now, I'm sure all that can wait until later. Why does Doc always come in when I'm recording? Hello. Let me pause the recording. Or maybe not. Never mind, the cat is left. It's still meowing, but it does not come over here. Let us not overlook the fact that we have now learnt a valuable lesson. When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts on the cabin doors slide closed. You are correct on that, Sholmes. So, what we must now consider? Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asogi, did this ship make an emergency stop or did it not?
You are idiots. Buria's huge ship with many passengers. If we make emergency stop, even in middle of night, there would be chaos everywhere.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea. Really? What evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Fascinating. Do show us, my good man. What evidence promotes the theory that some emergency gripped this vessel last night? The ship's log, yeah?
Yes!
Seaman Stroganoff. It's your duty to patrol the first-class area of the ship, isn't that right?
Duh, that is correct. Why?
And the ship's log here. This would be where you record the details of your duties.
What are you doing of that? That is mine.
I mean, technically it's the ship's, but yeah. Ah, you rather carelessly left it atop the little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with a mind to return it to you later.
I left it there on purpose. That is where I put it always.
The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances, you write the phrase "nothing to report" every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first lights this morning, nothing was recorded at all. Why do you think that would be?
Nothing recorded in the log. That is... duh, because nothing happened.
But if nothing happened, you would normally write "nothing to report," wouldn't you? Indeed so, which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something indeed did happen. Here aboard the SS Burya. Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log, in fact. Are you suggesting that the ship really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night?
Stop talking rubbish. If I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself.
Oh, why? Well, because if something as major as an emergency stop really had happened, surely all of us would have noticed. That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently and the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine that anyone would sleep through that, even if it happens in the dead of night. Well, no, that's a good point. Sholmes, you got something for us, man? What of the throbbing?
Sorry, what do you mean?
Your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered with it. Ah! Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Oh yes, I have had a headache, you're right.
In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today. Nor have I. Same here. My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn. Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected. He's right, my head's been throbbing today too. And since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. Dinner... Wait a second. What if Asogi was killed, and Stroganov, or someone on the crew, was in cahoots in order to kill Asogi, and so everyone was drugged and put asleep with their dinner or something? I'm just thinking out loud here. I can't really remember anything that happens after I climb back inside the wardrobe. Then the first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe and had those handcuffs put on me by that point. Why didn't I wake up when all this was happening to me? Yeah, and you would think you would have woken up when Asogi died if there was a loud thud. Unless you're a heavy sleeper. Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo. You boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, well, yes. Sorry. The stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on? Ah, well, Kazuma looked after me. He was always happy to share his meals. So, you enjoyed some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it? Yes, in fact, I had all of that. Kazuma wasn't fond of chicken. Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all? That's right, he didn't touch it. Is that relevant? Oh, shoot. Sholmes is on to something here. So, everyone ate chicken last night, and they passed out and probably got a throbbing headache due to the lurching of the ship or something. But Kazuma was not affected by it because he didn't have the chicken. So he was probably awake when the lurching happened when he was supposed to be asleep. And maybe that's why he died? Because of the lurching of the ship combined with Darka the cat. That's what I think. My dear fellow, does that not strike you? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken? I do. No! Really? Is that really true? The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with. Tampered with by the addition of a soporific, designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it. A sleeping drug. Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one would notice the ship's emergency stop? Mr. Naruhodo, of course that's not what Mr. Sholmes means. What a far-fetched idea. Precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a soporific drug would certainly be impossible. So maybe it was only everyone in the A class or something? Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator. Oh my god. Wait, what did I say earlier? I know I said a member of the crew, but did I say the crew before? Or did... I feel like I thought... Maybe I only thought that. Like, I don't know, maybe the crew is in cahoots or something. What? Mr. Sholmes! Well, Seaman? I'm sorry to say that any more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. If you refuse to talk, then there would have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew, and the captain himself, would be hauled over the coals. For aiding and abetting a renegade. Please, no more. I will tell everything.
Eh?
I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore.
These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe.
Yes. So when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me.
We all agreed to help, everyone together. She threw away everything. Her fame in the ballet, Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. You are right. We put sleeping Jorg in chicken last night. That is why the commentator right now is yawning.
Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point.
Duh, we could not make all Jorg. How do you say it dissolve?
Talk about heavy seasoning.
At midnight in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helped by comrade on shore with a small fishing boat.
While all the passengers of the SS Burya slept soundly. So she was snuck on board while the entire ship was stopped. And everyone was asleep. Thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion their evening meals had contained. So if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew and Asogi. Were the crew people who dislike chicken and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. And that means it would have been possible for you. You could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Kazuma's cabin door. But the question is, why would they want to kill him?
But how does that make sense?
Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and there would have been complete chaos. Oh, I wouldn't say so.
What?
Of course. Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins. After which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug. Quite. And accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabins for the night. Yes. The overwhelming majority of passengers would habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyway. And so not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of a single cabin door on the ship, the culprits brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. Damn.
You have talked a long time and said many things. What is point?
The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken fragments of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. But I ask you, what for? And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night. But... I don't know any of this. I am just a little girl.
You like to speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. But I am sailor, and sailors don't listen to long boring stories. We don't believe. Sailors like me would trust only what we see with our eyes.
A laudable trait.
What?
I am quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, yes? Do you hear it? That accusatory cry of guilt on the wind.
What accusatory cry of guilt?
Sorry, you've lost me. Proof of involvement, man. But you can't hear such a call with your ears. No. You must hear it with your eyes, for observation is the basis of all deduction. What are you talking about? I believe the time has come. For one final logic and reasoning spectacular, to expose the truth.
Another one? We're going for a third? Oh my gosh. Oh wait, we're doing a singular thing, it looks like. So, Mr. Naruhodo, your assistance, if you please. With what exactly, Mr. Sholmes?
With observation, my dear fellow, just as I said, of these two prevaricators.
Observation? By tampering with the scene of Mr. Asogi's death. What we're looking for is some trace of evidence that one of these two was there when it happened.
Precisely. You are delightfully quick to grasp my meaning.
Alright, I'll see what I can see. So we're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Kazuma died. Let me just save, because I don't know if I have all my health back or not. Somehow I doubt it. Chunky arms. Oh my god. Sailor's hat. I am not seeing much actually. Chunky arms. He has arms like tree trunks, doesn't he? Hairy tree trunks. Yes, he certainly has sailor's arms. He's a born man of the sea. Even if I had been awake, I couldn't have done anything about being dragged out of that wardrobe by this man. Naruhodo-san? Are you alright? You seem to be lost in thought. Oh, sorry. Blame those hairy tree trunks. I don't feel like that's it.
Yes!
Let's see. Nope.
Seaman Stroganoff, those enormous arms of yours are thick with hair. And I have no doubt that in your struggle with the victim last night, handfuls of it would have come out. So, when I go now and search the floor in the victim's cabin, you will have nowhere to run. That deduction was wanting in every way.
Blah 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 blah. How exactly are we supposed to show that someone else was there when Kazuma died? I can think of two possible ways. Either we find a trace of something the person in question left behind at the scene, or if that's not possible,
a trace of something that the person took away from the scene, be that accidentally or deliberately.
A trace of something someone took away.
If you observe closely enough, I believe you will find examples of both. Give them a long, hard, and uncompromising stare from all sides. That's my advice.
Okay, well we got the chunky arms. So if that ain't it, then... what about you? Have you noticed something significant about Seaman Stroganoff's hat? Oh no, sadly not. I was just thinking that if only we found it in Kazuma's cabin, it would all be so easy. That's true, a hat dropped at the scene would have been very conclusive evidence. Ah, that's a point. I'm sure I saw your university uniform hat at the scene somewhere. That is not a point, at least not one I'd like you to make. And let's do it for the funnies.
Yes!
Because I have no idea.
The truth is, I don't know exactly what trace of evidence this is going to unveil, but one thing is for sure. This man is definitely hiding something under his hat. When we remove it from his head, the revelations underneath will rock this boat and the whole world.
I don't know about you, Sholmes. I think I nailed it on that one. Alright, loading. Alright, what do we got? Left ear. Oh, I think I know what it is. Let's check her left ear first, though. Didn't think her ears would actually come into play. Okay, the same as before. I don't know if we're gonna get any funny for the right ear, so let's go for the left ear. So let's go to the right.
Yes.
What? I noticed the dainty jewelry you're wearing on your ears, Miss Pavlova. Were we to find a piece of those earrings in Mr. Asogi's cabinet would prove beyond doubt that you were there. Although we haven't actually found anything yet, so... I actually thought that could have been it, because she only has one instead of two. Your midriff, that's the answer. Oh, shoot. Oh, look at this. Some kind of stain in an unusual place. It looks like ink, if I'm not mistaken. Ink. And look at the color, too. It's clear where this came from. Should have changed your shirt, bucko.
Yes.
Seaman Stroganoff. You seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there.
Eh? Oh yes, I don't know where the dirt comes from.
So nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain.
What are you trying to say?
It would appear that the significance of the stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain. Oh, we're going for multiple in a row. It is a very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganov's uniform. And I think what made it is clear. Indeed it is. So, Mr. Naruhodo, present the evidence that proves it. My pleasure. Alright then, the evidence that proves what that stain on the back of Seaman Stroganov's uniform really is. Should just be this.
Yes.
Crime scene photograph. Yes, it's this photograph in the ink it shows. That's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink. A rather unusual color of ink, purple. Look. Ah, the penny drops. At last, now you see the significance. The Russian words on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of the exactly same color. If the ink had been dry, it couldn't possibly have stained your uniform in that way. Which means you must have been present in the cabin in the moments immediately after the ink was spilt.
You done? Alright, yes. It was me, I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in dead student's cabin to make it look like Wardrobe Man did it. Then I pressed button to make Beria do emergency stop and both cabin doors shut. I did everything so no one would suspect our angel.
Biff, please.
Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in morning. I was on duty patrolling passageway. Then our angel came to me. She was white like sheet.
Biff, please, you must help me.
I went with her. The door to cabin number 1 was open. When I looked inside, I saw a student boy on the floor. What happened here?
Please, don't tell anyone. My little one. My little furry friend.
Everything that happened in the cabin is like Angel told you.
The kitten escaped through the ventilator into Mr. Asogi's cabin. Then he tripped over it and broke his neck when he fell to the floor.
Yes, that is right.
So after the incident when the cat ran away, Mr. Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers, only to find its occupant lying lifeless on the floor.
She said she was worried when she heard sound of something falling on the floor. That's when she went to look. No, Angel? The door was not locked, so she opened to look, and you already know what happened after.
There's just one thing, if you wouldn't mind.
What?
When you went to Mr. Asogi's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead? Why?
I already told you. When Nina opened the door of student's cabin and looked inside,
I was asking Miss Pavlova. Well, Miss Pavlova? Duh. Oh. Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand, and I believe you.
it seemed that's the end of the case. So is that finally it now? Have we discovered the real truth about Kazuma's death at last? Ah, something very nearly slipped my mind. Oh gosh darn it. Oh, Mr. Sholmes? This photograph. Yes, I took this myself, you know. The cause of death was a broken neck, therefore the victim died instantly. And the unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there is one particular area in this photograph that seems to me somewhat unnatural. Uh-oh. What do you mean unnatural? What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Hmm? Oh, well... Kazuma tripped and fell, and by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck. Which part of this photograph print seems unnatural? Hold up. Well, if he broke his neck, maybe it's the fact that he's on his stomach instead of his back? What's... What do we even click on here? Yeah, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be clicking on here, honestly. Maybe just his finger? That seems like a safe bet. I almost wanted to... This word in Russian clearly wasn't written by Kazuma. So if you're looking for something unnatural, that's the obvious point. Oh, that. Very true. It is certainly peculiar, but it's not what I meant by unnatural, I'm afraid. That particularly crass deal was orchestrated by the culprit. I mean to identify another point.
Oh, I see.
Imagine, if you will, losing your footing yourself. In my opinion, if you landed as the victim appears to have done here, it would be most unnatural.
I'm sure you'll reach the same conclusion.
How thoughtful you are, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you for your gentle guidance.
Oh, we actually didn't lose health. Okay.
Yes!
It's back? Must be here, surely. Allow me to offer you a piece of advice regarding the pursuit of detection, my dear fellow. When noting a crucial point, it can be unhelpful to keep your eyes open. They were open. And it can be equally helpful to use them. Sorry, I'll try that. I don't know what to do here. That's what... what is it then? Losing your footing yourself. Would you land as the victim has? What of your... Okay.
Yes!
Maybe that? Oh, right. If he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then his fist just doesn't seem quite right. The exact same thought occurred to me. I thought it was because he landed on his stomach. I don't think it... Because I feel like if he died from falling, he wouldn't have landed on his stomach. In a fall, one's instincts is to open the palms flat. Yet here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say. As though he were gripping something.
What do you mean?
Oh my god. Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. I bet you. Is it her freaking... she's missing a right earring. Maybe it's hers or something? You did? And what, pray, do you imagine I found there, my dear fellow? Am I right? Is it the earring? Because she has a different accessory on her left earring than she does on her right. Or she's missing an accessory on the right ear. That feels like some type of foreshadowing this series would do. Like, oh yeah, she only has a decoration on her left ear because the right one, it got taken off or something. Like, maybe as he was falling, he grabbed it off her ear or something? I don't know.
Mr. Sholmes, show us, please.
Why, of course, my dear madam. Would I keep you in suspense? I knew it! I called it! Oh, I peeked my mic. Sorry about that. This is what I found.
Oh, a crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle.
Yes, you're right. A crescent moon. It's very pretty, but what does it tell us?
It tells us nothing.
I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks... It looks familiar somehow. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before. I like how her face is in a pose where you can't see it right now. Observation, Mr. Naruhodo. That is the key. What? The truth is now tantalizingly close. How did that crescent moon come to be in Kazuma's clenched fist? This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? And observe, find the answer with your own eyes. The sailor's hat. Nah. Da-dum, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum.
Yes!
Out of here. Miss Pavlova, on your ear there. I see you have a crescent moon as well. Ugh!
What?
And on your other ear, there seems to be a crescent moon missing. The little link holding it on it must have broken, I suppose. Now, the missing crescent moon we found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there was only one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. Miss Pavlova. Mr. Asogi must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it off from your ear. Perhaps just moments before he fell to the floor. In other words, last night in Mr. Asogi's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. Oh, my man's just giving up. He's like, oh, there is nowhere left to run. But then the question is, why did Mr. Asogi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his final moments?
Oh, no.
Angel.
No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma?
When I think about everything that happened yesterday, it was too much. Running away, the fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto this huge ship. And then, when I was at last in this cabin and I could relax after this horrible long day. Darko, wait! I couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with a little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy. But nothing worked. Darko would not come back.
So she went to Kazuma's room in order to get her cat back. Huh? Inspector? Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. Sorry, I didn't know it was Kazuma talking. I thought it was like Pavlova maybe talking to Kazuma or something.
The young man from your country, he was very polite and kind. He helped me to find Darka, and he promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my friend in my arms again and I was going to leave the man's cabin...
Just a moment. Sorry, but...
Oh, yes?
I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before.
Ah,
Ah, of course. You're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina.
huh? No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land in the faraway east know a Russian ballerina?
Yes, I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But what are you doing on the ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company is performing in Shanghai at the moment.
I can't fool him. I have to tell him the truth and hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice.
I see, so you've run away.
Please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone.
Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here.
He's gonna pull that cord. He's going to tell the captain. Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait! I shouted. And then... Darka jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet. And... as he turned around to look at me... I pushed him. I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me.
And that's when you went to fetch help. From Seaman Stroganov, who was on duty out in the passageway.
I heard Nina cry out and thud on the floor, so I ran to her. She was standing at cabin door, shaking like leaf. She looked at me and said,
Help me, Biff. If they found out, I will be... Please, I have nowhere to go.
So you decided to help. And that's when you arranged things in Kazuma's cabin to make it look like I did it. So that no one would suspect the passenger in the cabin next door.
yes. I went into cabin and I looked around, to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And then I found Stowaway, in wardrobe, still sleeping.
Right, that's when he found me.
So you worked out a plan to lay the blame on the stowaway.
I closed wardrobe doors and put back strange paper sign.
Luckily for me, that's the only reason Susato-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent.
I dragged young man's body to good place and used ink that was spilling to write on the floor. I wrote here, so that the person who found him would look inside the wardrobe and find Stowaway.
And tell me, what's the glass bell?
It was by my feet, so I picked it up.
I see.
But it was stuck in the cabin. I didn't notice the other half.
Then Angel went back to her cabin and I finished job.
By pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway.
Yes.
Accordingly, the SS Burya did indeed come to an emergency halt at a little after 2 a.m. Thus enticing the bolt on the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery. There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova.
What?
Well, you said that you told Kazuma about the fact that you'd run away from your homeland. And it's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right?
Yes.
But even if he had pulled a bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem?
It was what he said first that made me scared.
What he said first? What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh. I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine.
He said an inspector was his friend.
Ah, yes, meaning me, who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard.
I thought that if police knew about me, they would arrest me. So before he could pull the bell cord, I... May I stop you a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? Huh? Huh?
Sorry. I'm not good at woman voices, in case you haven't noticed. I try to make them sound decent, but my voice is too low-pitched.
It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Sogi really gonna pull the bell cord? I don't know. What?
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? I mean, I could tell... I think I have an idea. Because he was looking to that side of the room, and he was saying he was gonna ask for another opinion. I feel like he was probably gonna go and get Ryunosuke's opinion. Well, I'm not Kazuma, so I can't know for certain, but he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done.
No, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, the day's work is not yet done, it seems. There is one more deduction to make. What? Another deduction? Yes, what action was the victim really about to take at that moment? Can we determine whether the young man's gaze was directed? First, consider the victim's location within his cabin. That's easy, I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yes, I spent quite a lot of time in the wardrobe, but still. That cabin has been my home for this entire voyage.
So this is how the cabin looked last night when Mr. Pavlova visited Kazuma-sama.
Yes, it's exactly how it was. Are you ready then, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes! If there's one thing I've learned today, it's that a simple gaze can reveal all manners of truth. Not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out by even a little bit when you're following the gaze to where it lands. So, when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Kazuma looking at? God, I don't even know if I can do a meme option with this beautiful music playing, man. Yeah, I can't do it, man. It's too much. I can't do that. Not even I can do the meme options in a time like this. The wardrobe. My wardrobe. I was in there at the time, of course, sleeping soundly. Too soundly. If only I hadn't eaten that chicken that was laced with the sleeping drug. If only it had woken me up. Then maybe this tragedy would never have happened. I will, however, examine it. His bed. I remember him being annoyed about the pillow. He said it was too thin. Didn't he put that big, thick book of Japanese law underneath it, in fact? Perhaps he was thinking of looking something up. Either that or talking to Miss Pavlova made him acutely tired. I got an achievement for that one. The bell cord. So Miss Pavlova thought he was just coldly ignoring her requests and going to pull the cord. But the Kazuma I knew would never have done something like that. No, I'm sure of it.
Take that!
Considering everything that had happened last night, certainly it may have looked as though Kazuma's going to ring the bell cord. Yes, however, what is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe.
The wardrobe?
And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe. The man's great friend, sleeping soundly.
Ah! Miss Pavlova, please think back very carefully. What were Mr. Asogi's exact words last night?
Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here.
Another opinion?
Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Sogi intended to consult his best friend on the matter. To see if, between them, they might be able to help in some way, no doubt.
Oh no. Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. Fucking crying, man. Oh man, I'm actually crying. Oh, I got tears in my eyes. Oh shit, man. It's too emotional for me, man. God damn it.
Oh, okay. Give me a second here. Let me get my bearings. This episode's already going on for longer than usual. I'm sniffing and snorting and snotting. Shit, this is only the second case, man. You can't hit me with these feels. God. The combination of this beautiful music with the atmosphere, man. Oh, shit. Sorry, I'm wiping away the tears. Okay. Okay. I think I'm good to go.
But I wish you had made sure of what Mr. Asogi was looking at. Things may have ended very differently if you had.
Sorry about that. Miss Pavlova, I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is a man lost his life because of what you did, and that will never change. I hope you'll never forget that.
I'm sorry. Really, I'm so sorry. What have I done?
And so, at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic incident on the SS Buria was finally laid to rest. January 9th, 7:14 p.m. SS Buria, first class cabin passageway. What will happen to Miss Pavlova now, then? Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard. What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to repatriate her? Apparently the English detective can speak to the immigration office and sort all that out. Mr. Sholmes can do that? So she won't be going back to Russia then?
No, I don't think so.
Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life. I see.
I'm sorry.
Seaman Stroganov?
I wanted to help her, Angel, no matter what. But I didn't think about you. About how you lost good friend. I will go with Nina. I will give myself to British police.
That's kind of you. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Kazuma's death feels like such a waste, but... well, do what you can for Miss Pavlova, won't you?
Duh.
Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have to hand you over to the council to arrange your passage back to Japan. Yes. I did stow away after all. I couldn't really expect any different. So, you should get back to your cabin now. Well, Kazuma's cabin, but it's now ours. Looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it even begun then. To think that only days ago, Kazuma and I were laughing together about how we'd tear up the streets of London. That seems like a distant memory now. This is the first time we've actually seen the room clear. They have a tatami mat? Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping? Yeah, it's me, playing this game. Fucking crying, and it's only the second case. Come on, game. Oh, hey, look. It's Usato. Hey, how you doing? Susato-san? Naruhodo-san, I didn't know you had returned. Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Inspector Hosonaga just told me I should pack. You know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. That's Asogi's sword, yeah? And is that his headband wrapped around it? I still can't believe this has happened. I can't believe someone's life can be over just like that. Susato-san. Man. I'm glad the frickin' remix of Asogi's theme is done at least. Sorry. He had such grand ideas for this visit to Great Britain. So many dreams. And now they've all been cruelly taken away just as he has. I thought I could never forgive the person responsible. But now we know the truth, that it was just an accident. Just a silly series of mishaps. It's too much, Naruhodo-san. It's just too much. Yes, I know. I wish there was something I could say. Oh, sorry. It's the inspector. For some reason I thought it was Sholmes, but I guess he doesn't have too many stakes in this compared to us. Inspector. My duty was to see Asogi-san safely to Great Britain. But I failed, and caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I've let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. Nobody blames you, Inspector. And I'm free again now, at least. Huh? God damn it, Sholmes. Bro, this is a sad episode. This is not a time for your silly antics. I appreciate the sentiment, but still. Surprised, Mr. Naruhodo. What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. You know, honestly, I think I needed to see you and hear this music, man. You're a sight for sore and tired and red eyes from all the crying I've done. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting. Sorry? So I decided to restore them for all time's sake, shall we say. You are a stowaway, after all. Ooh, ooh, ooh. He thinks this is funny?
Mr. Sholmes, we do appreciate all your assistance. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Not at all, not at all. And though it's a little late, may I offer my sincere condolences. The loss of your companion is truly heartrending. I hope that you will be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened.
Wait, what? Wait a minute. It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was the stowaway.
The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be one lawyer and one assistant.
Was to be?
In the light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. Yeah, I guess since there's no longer an attorney, it's kind of null and void.
Oh no, I don't care for me, but...
Poor Susato-san.
My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely. Oh, I get where he's going.
But there's no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know of no other lawyer.
Qualifications, you say? Any qualification obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid.
Oh, but
anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. It's ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer.
yes.
Miss Susato?
Yes?
Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it?
Ah,
But you're not a lawyer, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, unless... Are you studying law? No, I'm not, but... I'm sorry, in that case I don't think there's even a chance it could work. But as I said, there is still more than a month before we reach England's shores. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I have a month in which to study, to learn what I must to become a lawyer in Great Britain.
Mr. Naruhodo.
That's ridiculous. Are you seriously suggesting anybody could learn all of that in just 40 days?
There's only one way to find out. I would work my fingers to the bone, Inspector, every single day. Will you let me try? And if by the time we reach Great Britain I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate.
Why put yourself in such a difficult position? For Kazuma. He said that there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. I can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, it's for my own benefit too. I will become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Mrs. Sato?
I think it's a wonderful idea.
Thank you.
She has such a cute smile. It's the first time we've actually seen it.
So, what does our bespectable inspector friend say?
Are you serious?
One lawyer and one assistant. The numbers are indisputable.
No, it's madness.
Yet fascinating, wouldn't you agree?
I like this music.
Gives me a sense of hope. Fascinating.
Duty and rules are the dual routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest, give us fascination.
Speak for yourself.
Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character, no?
Truer words have never been spoken, Sholmes.
And you've witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eyes. From the early hours of this morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage.
Very well. I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice.
This poor man. Inspector!
After all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said that I'd do anything to make up for my shortcomings here.
Oh, thank you, Inspector.
Man, and now she just smiles regularly. That's nice. If you'll excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. I need to discuss what to do next and how best to make my report. You are a god among men, Hosonaga.
Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, I'm going to try. I wonder. Would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer.
I would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant, after all.
Thank you.
And, Mr. Naruhodo, I'd like you to take charge of this.
What, me? Are you sure?
I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted. Its name is Kuruma. It's a great sword that's been in the Asogi clan for generations.
Very well. I accept. I'll treasure it always. So then, Mrs. Sato. It seems to be working together for some time to come yet.
It will be an honor, Mr. Naruhodo.
She's already cracking out the book.
And for the next 40 days, I shan't give you a single minute of freedom. You shall fill every spare moment with study.
That is a very cute pose. Her entire character is just very cute now that we've actually seen her smile. Yes, that's exactly what I need.
before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you, too.
Goodness, what is it?
Please throw me to the ground. 3 times.
What?
I should never have doubted you. You were Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course you would never have done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. No matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior. No, you were in shock. You just found out about me stowing away, and the cabin door is locked for me. No, I won't let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you, and not just once, but 5 times. That number keeps creeping up, doesn't it? I mean, technically, I think she probably did do it 5 times. Because I think she did it 3 times in the main story, and, like, once or twice in optional dialogue. Please, you must. Just take hold of me and throw me. Do it! Don't even think about it.
No, I don't even know how. I've never thrown anyone in my life.
I have.
Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. It isn't a skill one acquires without considerable training.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
Let me do the honors. Yeet! Equal rights means equal fights. I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I would confess I was most impressed.
When did he see that?
I presume that would be a form of Japanese wrestling.
Oh, well, in a way. It's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jujutsu technique.
Apparently it's called the Susato takedown. It leaves your head swimming, believe me. How big Yuri? I am a practitioner of the combative arts myself. I am a somewhat accomplished boxer.
There he goes, dancing around again. I sense that animation coming.
I wonder if you'd be so kind as to instruct me on the techniques of your arresting throw.
Show him an example. Show him an example. Yes, I'd be honored.
Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam.
Oh my god. I bet you anything she's gonna use Ryunosuke instead of him again. Oh, of course. Oh no. I knew it. Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo?
Sorry.
Hiya! As you can see, you throw from the abdomen.
Oh yes, arresting indeed. And that is what you term the Susato takedown, is it?
I like how you can see him there. Actually, no, that was a Susato squash.
You have different moves? Susato needs to be an anime character. She has different special moves. Instead of just one. In my groggy state of consciousness, I decided it was time to end the episode. No, I'm joking. We're going to the end of this. I think we're almost there. A scene from an evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered into my mind. Oh, great. Yeah, give me more feels. Because I didn't have enough this extremely long episode. Oh, that's his sword, isn't it? Kuruma? That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking a katana on a study tour is more than a little irregular, surely. Oh, man. We have a frickin'... We're a lawyer protagonist that has a katana now, by the way. I didn't mention it before, but that's awesome. The Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Kuruma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two. Not that you would need such compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. And I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. But what was it? That important thing he had to do. I still don't know what that was. I wonder if he knows someone in Great Britain. But I'm going to see the place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London. Is that end of chapter 2? And, yeah, we've reached the pinnacle and the end of this chapter. Oh man, that chapter. What an experience. Oh man. Oh. That was something. Wow, I think this is the longest video I've had on this channel so far, if I'm being honest. Wow, then. That was a real great episode. I think that's like one of the first times an Ace Attorney game has ever had an entire episode, or case, whatever you want to call it, that has no trial. It was solely investigation. I mean, we got a lot of deducing and stuff, which is a new mechanic, but yeah, that was really enjoyable. I mean, and I'm pretty sure, and I don't cry often at games, by the way. Like, I've cried a handful of times in my life at games, but like not many. I'd say like probably 5 or less times, honestly, and that was one of them. So yeah, that is a very rare thing just witnessed from me. Oh boy, it's real. I'm super excited to see all the new characters we see in Britain and all the other stuff that'll come up. But we'll be dealing with that next time. Because, ooh boy, that was a long one. I said that originally I was planning on doing 2 episodes. Because I was thinking that this episode would have taken only like 40 minutes or something. And that the episode would have ended. Episode being this case. And then I would have started this one this night. But turns out this recording's almost been going for an hour and 20 minutes, so that clearly didn't pan out. Also, what the hell ever happened to Pavlova's cat? My own cat meowing reminded me of that. We never got to see the cat. I demand answers. Where is the Russian blue? I wish to see it. Game, you can't hide it from me forever. Oh well. Oh man. I'm super hyped that we got his sword though. Like, the idea of being a lawyer that has a sword is real cool. I don't know. We'll see if it actually gets any use, and if it's, I don't know, maybe we'll have it like attached to our hip on trials or something. I don't know. I haven't seen any trailers of anything. I've seen like all of the stuff that I knew about this game was music and some like screenshots from the first case because of Steam, I think. But I haven't seen much more. But yeah, next time on Great Ace Attorney, we start the 3rd episode and see what it has in store. And also, we'll probably be in Great Britain, I assume. So yeah, adios, ciao, and bye-bye. Signing off until next time. Thank you for watching. Ja, matane.